Shalom Aleichem, everyone, and welcome to Yahrzeit Yomi. Yud Menachem Av is the Yahrzeit of the great Kohen Tzaddik, Rav Yitzchak Blazer, the famed Rav of St. Petersburg, the close Talmud and successor of Yisrael Salanter, ultimately became known as Rav Itzeleh Of Petersburg after the city of which he was Rav. It was 9 years before his Petir in 1898 that the Talmud Muvak of Yisrael Salanter, Alter of Kelm, passed away on Ches Menachem Av, and 9 years and 3 days later was the passing of Rav Yitzchak Blazer on Yud Aleph Menachem Av in 1907. Rav Yitzchak was born in Shnippershik near Vilna on Rosh Chodesh Adar in 1837. As a child prodigy, he was only 14 years old when his father published a Kuntres of the Chidushim. He married at the age of 15, after which he moved to Kovna and learned in the Beis Medrash of Yisrael Salanter. By the age of 25, his fame had spread so widely that he was offered the position of Rav of the great city of St. Petersburg. Rav Yitzchak was now presented with the opportunity to impact over 1 million Yidden, and he consulted with his Rabbi Yisrael Salanter for his advice. Yisrael Salanter's answer was famous and very instructive. Yisrael said, Itzeleh, your kayach is in your davening, your kayach hatfila, that's where your strength lies. And you have one question to consider. Will taking this position improve your davening or not? Ultimately, we realize, of course, that we know the answer, as Rav Yitzchak took the position and was Rav of St. Petersburg for 16 years. When he was Rav of the city of St. Petersburg, the city once hosted a convention of the leading Rabbanim of the generation, and the great brisker Rav Yosef Dov Soloveitchik, posed a very difficult question, which was raised by his son, Rav Chaim. A great Torah debate broke out, and many of the Rabbanim were offering their answers and showing their great depth of their abilities. At the end, ultimately, Rav Yashaber gave two original answers, one of his own and one from his son, Rav Chaim. And during the entire debate, Rav Itzeleh, the chief rabbi of St. Petersburg, just sat there quietly, not uttering a word, giving the impression that he had no idea what was taking place. Later, when Rav Yashaber happened to peruse the sefer authored by Rav Itzeleh, Pri Yitzchak, he was astonished that the question posed and the two answers presented were already written and published by Rav Itzeleh. But throughout the entire debate, of course, Rav Itzeleh made no mention and allowed everyone present to think that he had no idea what was going on. Such was the great humility of Rav Itzeleh Petersburger. He subsequently returned to Kovna and rejoined the kollel that had been established by Rav Yisrael Salanter. The project received the blessing and support of Rav Yitzchak Chanan Spector, the Rav of Kovna. Kollel was eventually renamed Kollel Knesset Beis Yitzchak, and Rav Yitzchak Blazer took over the kollel upon the passing of Yisrael Salanter, and Rav Yitzchak's rousing lectures were the kollel's life force. Rav Yitzchak spent the last years of his life in Yerushalayim, where Rav Shmuel Salant requested his help with community affairs, was nifter at the age of 70. Rav Chaim Berlin related that Rav Yitzchak left a request that no hespedim be delivered. Rav Chaim Berlin asked Rav Shmuel Salant if they were required to abide by the wishes of Rav Yitzchak Blazer, since it might be meritorious to emancipate a person of his great stature. Rav Shmuel Salant ruled that indeed they were obligated to heed his tzava. A few days after his patira, Rav Chaim Berlin related that Rav Itzeleh came to him in a dream and thanked him for honoring his request. Rav Chaim asked Rav Itzeleh in the dream, what issues of halacha Bezdin Shalmal is most stringent about, and Rav Itzeleh told him that they were particularly exacting on the purity of a person's speech. Rav Yitzchak wrote Pri Yitzchak on Shas and also brought to print Or Yisrael, the famous drushes of Musar of Yisrael Salanter. Yehei Zichrei Baruch Zechusa Yagan Aleinu.